Okay. I had a little issue with my file from copying and pasting windows, and all my dimensions got really messed up. So I had to delete all the dimensions out. I have to go back and fix them. What we want to do now is go ahead and apply dimensions to the windows, and we'll do them as best we can. We've got one or two sections there where we've got doors that are just going to cause us a little bit of a problem. But we'll dimension as best we can, just like it shows in the textbook. So on my A-floor dim layer, make sure you've got your annotative style. And then we'll start with a corner and go to the midpoint of the window and drag it out, a little bit. And we'll go continue. And I'm going to go ahead and blow through that wall there. And I got an error there too, because I copied and pasted some stuff into here, and this is not looking right. I'll have to make some corrections. Okay, so I'm going to have to move those walls over a little. That's not going to affect what we're doing here. Now, what we're going to do is go ahead and dimension all of your windows, this first row of dimensions. And we're going to add in the window tags. And I've given you a handout in Blackboard that has the settings for those. And so on your multi-leaders, we'll go to Styles, and you're going to create a new one. So you'll go New, and you're going to start with the annotative style. We'll go into Modify, and if you'll start here on your leader format, make these color changes first to by layer, and then set the type to none, because we don't want a leader line. On the leader structure, uncheck, you should, if it's still available, uncheck that. Check annotative, yes. And content, we're going to change it from M-text to block, and we choose a hexagon, center extents by layer, and a 1-inch size. And then go OK. And then close that. Now let's switch our layer to the A-glaze identify. And that is going to be our window tag. Now, we need a construction line to line these things up with. So let me turn my construction layer back on. And using the lines that I have around the perimeter of the building, I'm just going to do an offset. You could do a copy. And I want to offset them out 12 inches. Well, not 12 feet. Okay. Now this gives me a place to line up my window tags. And the way, based on the handout, excuse me, the handout I gave you in Blackboard, the smaller windows, the kitchen window and the bathroom window are going to be type C windows. The two here at the front are type B. Everything else is a type A on the first floor. So we'll go to our multi-leader here and select your window tag style. All right, I got a little correction that I've got to insert into a previous video. The window tags using the block and the attributes that we had set up. Did a little research, and I found out that the reason it's putting text on a different layer is because of the way the block was created within AutoCAD. And I haven't spent a lot of time looking for it, but I'm not going to try and fix a problem within the program. But I did find a different way to do this. Of course, you could just draw them if you wanted to. There's a thing that I don't use it that much. It's called the palettes. And I've just never used them very much. You may find them and like them, and that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. But go ahead and create your window tag multi-leader, and then you'll in the next video you'll be creating a door tag multi-leader also. So go ahead and create that with the settings that we have for it. But now we want to open up the tool palettes, and on the View tab right here, come over here, Tool Palettes, and open that. And you can scroll around and look at these. They've got lots of various things that you just click and drag it into your drawing. Okay, but the one that we want is not on here. So I'll go Settings, and instead of the Annotation and Design, which is what's all on there now, I want Leaders. And then what I want is the leader hexagon. And so I'll just click and drag it into my drawing here and place it, and then put in the attribute, the tag number. Okay. And I'm going to dock that over on the side there. And you can see here now it works. Let me turn off my construction layers and let's see if that works. It should. I'm going to turn off all these 0 construction layers. Yeah, it worked. Okay, so I'll bring back my bring those layers back up so I've got my construction lines available. And this should be on the A glazing identifier layer. And so now you'll move and place them. Well, it's not giving me a center to grab it there. So it may be better to place them as we're doing it. Let's see, leader hexagon. Yeah, because it's on the center of it now, so we'll have to turn my object snap back on. I can't remember if that should be a C window. Yeah. Okay, so you'll need to place them. Can't copy and move them. You'll have to paste them as you're going through with that. But that's how we'll fix this problem with the text not showing up. Okay. All right. Coming down the sides, I can probably do it. I don't have the dimension lines across here on my drawing yet, so I can do a snap projection from there. There we go. And this one will be a type A also. Okay. Now what we've done is we're placing our window tags outside at a consistent distance all the way around. And what we're going to do is we're going to adjust our dimensions so that the extension lines don't go through the window tags. So let me turn off my construction layer for right now and go back to my dimension layer. And I'll go ahead and put some, for some reason, this tag, the text, always seems to come up on that 0 layer. And I don't know why it does that. It's been a source of frustration for me, but the actual text inside it, for some reason, turns out to be on that 0 layers. I don't know why. Okay, let me put these dimensions down here so you can see what. And let's see, the book shows these going to the wall. And then it stops. Okay. Let me check my completed drawing here. Because I did a construction line to line up my my dimensions. I just need to check and see how far out I came with those. 2 feet 10 inches. Okay. So I would recommend you do that. Let's go back to construction layer. Set 2 feet 10 inches. And we'll choose the one from the wall and go up. I'll choose this vertical one here and come over. Okay, now I'm going to want to align up my dimensions with, and you can, I mean, you could select all your dimensions. Since these are all I've got right here, right now, I'll do that. And you can grab the handle at one end and drag it down to there. And it'll do 2 of them at a time. And since, you know, we've got other dimensions from our walls, may have to make adjustments for those. Let's see, drag these out. Okay. All right, so we got those. Now I'm going to turn off my construction layer, back off. Yeah, turn it off. Okay. Now you see how the extension lines are coming through there. We don't want that because it'll override our text. So what we can do with this first row of dimensions, and you can select all of them, and we just want it to be this first row, not the other ones, just this first row. And over here in the properties, down here on the extension line offset, change that to 3/8 of an inch. And what that does is it increases the gap between the extension lines so that it doesn't show through that. But with our other dimensions that we're going to have, the second row and the third row are going to go to the walls. And so those will be fine. And let's see, do I have these here? Yeah, I had them on a separate layer here while I was working that out for my drawing. And so I need to move my second 2 rows out. But you can see how with this row, it's still dimensioned, which the ones we had for the walls, we have the 1/16 inch offset, so it covers up that gap. Turn off the grid line so you can see that a little easier. Okay. And now to counteract the problem here with the text not showing up, we'll eventually delete all those zero construction lines. And honestly, I cannot figure out why it is putting the text on a zero layer. I honestly cannot figure that out. Anyway, that looks like I just need to move those things out. And probably, let's see. Our baseline offset was 3/8 of an inch, but at scale, 6 basically. So we could do a construction line offset again of 1.6 to be able to move our stuff out. Okay, so I'm going to pause this video and clean this thing up, and then we'll come back and start on doors.